Let's go.
Yeah,
Star
like, yeah,
Wars. Boba Fett.
yeah,
Episode
we're gonna
5.
talk about yeah, we're gonna talk about Boba Fett episode 5. Yeah, man, it was pretty good episode, man. It wasn't even a Boba Fett episode. It was a Mandalorian. It was a Mandalorian episode.
It was a
exactly
filler.
what it
I feel
was.
like it was a filler. Like
I
they
think it
needed
was
to-
a much needed episode after the previous episode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the previous
Yeah.
episode was the lull. You know what I mean? Like it was probably one of the more boring ones. And then this episode started off like,
I could tell.
what the hell's going on?
I'm
Exactly.
not saying that I don't like Boba Fett, but I feel like the Mandalorian took the story of Mandalorian into a whole different perspective that we never seen in the Star Wars universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're looking at deeper into the culture of
And
the
but then
Mandalorian.
Boba Fett, like the whole thing about it's taking too long for what Mandalorian did in like a couple episodes. Like there hasn't really been a lot of actions in Boba Fett.
No.
There have been a few scenes of action where Mandalorian in this episode basically
We
in the
have a
first
Power
10
Ranger
minutes.
chase. We have a Power Ranger chase that took half an hour.
It's true.
Yeah,
It's true.
we had a Power Ranger chase.
It's like
Yeah,
you gonna
but-
tell me, bro, Boba Fett could have took his jetpack and catch the guy that was running away in the car before he sent the Blue Ranger, Pink Ranger, and the Green Ranger after them. It's like
There was
oh,
no
Yeah.
point.
morph
Yeah.
into your motorcycles and go chase them real quick for me. And the whole scene took forever.
Yeah, the whole scene did take forever, but I think that Boba Fett is like being set up as more like kind of like the godfather of like this planet. He's trying to be like, you know, the warlord.
He's
of
trying to be
of
the Al
planet,
Capone, the
of,
Scarface.
of Tatooine.
Yeah,
I mean, I think you can see how the one before this one, Return of the Mandalorian, how the one that episode ended. It was just cool. I think the best part of that episode was seeing Boba Fett in the front. And everybody get up, put his fist on the table, like, I'll handle these interlopers. Like, bruh, I'm about to handle these dudes myself like a G. Y'all just sit back and relax, and I got this. Just don't. And then he's like, just don't betray me if they ask you to betray me, bro. Like, yo, how much more G can you be to stand in the front and do that? And then, like, just basically tell everybody to F off. And I think it was a great transition into, like, then it's Mandalorian. It's going into the badassness of these characters. You know what I mean? You already know Mando's badass. Now, I think now we're going to get into, like, how Boba Fett is we're gonna see some cool shit.
It wasn't just about like I know the Mandalorian is a big deal right now, you know, because he started off this whole new Star Wars side adventures that we all wanted to see, not just in the movies. We want to see more of this scene. But dude, it was a very emotional. It was kind of an emotional episode also. Because all that at the end, all that he went through the whole episode, is all about him trying to get to Grogu.
Yeah, and I also
Exactly,
think
bro.
I also
Exactly
think it's
that.
about him struggling and balancing like being a Mandalorian and trying to be maybe a Jedi. You know, like I think that
I think more of a father. He felt like by the end of the
feels
Mandalorian,
loyalty.
you saw like
he feels loyalty to Grogu, but that's part of Mandalorian culture. That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like,
and
that's
oh
why
man, that one part
that's why
when the lady
that's what he
told
told
him.
them. Yeah,
Spoilers for everybody that haven't seen it.
Exactly. Gotta get that out.
That one part. What's her name? The lady with the fur. Kevin.
That's what I've been trying to figure out. I don't know if Kev, if you know who that lady's name is, but I think she's also one of my favorite characters. Even in the Mandalorian show, when she was in there, was one of my favorite characters.
The whole training part was pretty badass because she was using her hammers as her weapons.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? She was using
the blacksmith.
The blacksmith, yeah. What
Makes
is
sense because she's making everybody's stuff.
And when she saw him with the whole thing, like this whole episode was just a thing. It was for a Mandalorian. It was a Mandalorian episode. Well, Mando's episode, or what's his name?
Boba Fett. It wasn't a Boba Fett episode.
No,
It was a
but the
Mandalorian
Mandalorian's
episode.
name. His
Oh,
real name.
Din Djarin.
Oh,
Din
Din
Djarin.
Djarin. Yeah.
Not Din Djarin. Din Djarin.
Yeah, it's Din Djarin.
This guy said Din Djarin.
Like saying ginger ale.
Yeah, but like when she asked him, like, "Hey, have you taken your helmet off?" And he's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Fuck you, you're not a Mandalorian anymore."
But I think though, I think she has known this whole time that this pursuit that the Mandalorian has been on and this journey with Grogu is leading him to this more greater purpose beyond being a Mandalorian, man. I really do think that she knows. Even when he came back to her at the episode, he was like, yeah, I've come back. I did whatever. And she's like, so you've completed your quest after hearing about the dark saber and how it's from a Mandalorian and a Jedi who had made it. You know what I mean? And it's just hearing his story, and she's just like, bro, this guy is. It's just, I think she's making the obvious connections.
Yeah, because out of nowhere, she just asked him, like, "Did you take off your helmet?" Like, don't lie to me. I could see it in your helmet that you're lying to me. Did you take it off?
Yeah.
And he was
I
like,
think that she just knows that this guy has a bigger journey ahead of him, and I also think that he is gonna be the one to lead the Mandalorians to basically take their planet back, because back like a millennia ago, when she was saying, like, she was talking about the war of the tears.
yeah.
War, what is it called? War of 1,000 Tears or something like that.
That's what happened in Mandalore, right? In their planet.
Yeah, the Mandalorian. Actually, I think they went over it in Clone Wars, if I'm not mistaken. They went over a little bit.
Yeah, Clone Wars brings you into deeper into this too.
Did you notice? BD?
Yeah, any fallen Order fans out here?
Anybody?
BD?
No, you haven't played that game.
You haven't played it? Yo, it's
No,
good.
I haven't.
Well,
no,
Junie don't play video game.
No, not often, man. That's the thing. I just follow through cinematography, really, or shows.
You should buy a PS4, bro.
It got me to want to play the games more.
I think you should buy. I think you should buy
Battlefront 2.
I think you should buy a PS4. You get the Avengers game, and then us three will get together and play the game.
I'm down, yo.
I'm down. Are you down to buy a PS4?
I mean,
do you have a PS4?
No, I got an Xbox. That's the thing. If I want PlayStation, I'd probably just try to get the new one.
No,
honestly,
Kevin.
Honestly,
I know we're talking about a little bit out, but stay with the Xbox, bro, because Xbox just did something big.
Yeah,
so.
stay. Honestly,
stay with Xbox.
Just stay with Xbox, because it's gonna be.
Yo, when
it's gonna be
back
good.
into before we go, because we're about to go off. But watching BD, I was like, bro, is that gonna be a sign that they're gonna do a what's his name? Oh my god, bro, that's like one of my favorite games. Best Star Wars games ever. Cal. I think they should do a Cal. I think Disney Plus should pick up a Cal show.
I know. I think that they should bring Cal in at some point and maybe train Din Djarin to be a Jedi, because now Din Djarin isn't a Mandalorian. Wait, hold on. Now
I can hear you. No, go say that again.
Cut out.
It cut out.
Yeah.
So now Din Djarin isn't a Mandalorian anymore. So when you think about it, he could become a Jedi now. When he goes back to go get Grogu, maybe he sees Luke Skywalker, then he becomes his student, and then he also meets Cal.
In my honest opinion,
Cal should be in his 40s, 50s.
I feel like listen, I don't know much about these Star Wars worlds, but I think something that'll be really interesting and that'll be really cool if they stood with. I think Mandalorian's his guiding principles have almost mirrored of just being like a father figure to this thing. And if they keep guiding him that way, and somehow he learns some Jedi ways from Grogu himself, like from the actual being, that would be kind of dope. You know what I mean? Like he would not at some formal training, but something that they tap in together because he's guided by this honor and loyalty to this thing.
to
you
this
know,
thing.
and
He's
taps
like,
into the
he's
force
like,
somehow. I don't know.
it's kind of like Dejarin is like imprinted on Grogu or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I honestly, I could actually say I wouldn't want the Mandalorian to have Jedi powers. Or become a Jedi at any point. I think that they should leave him as a bounty hunter and let Grogu do the Jedi stuff.
Yes, I think Grogu should definitely. It'd be cool to see Grogu get into
But-
the Jedi world, and then Mando pick that stuff up through Grogu. You know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
just
Like,
don't. I just don't. I wouldn't want to
You're-
see him with Jedi powers. I think he's badass by
Danny,
himself.
You boring as hell. You don't want to see this guy turn into like
We already got so many Jedi.
half
So
Mandalorian,
think it's-
half.
I think
we never seen a bounty hunter part. We never seen that underworld part of Star Wars. I think they should stay away from the Jedi powers and the Jedi stuff. We already getting Grogu. That's gonna
That's
be
what
in the
you're saying,
Mandalorian.
yeah.
You know what I
But
mean?
that's what
It'd
they're
be
gonna
more the
lead up
same.
to. That's what they're gonna lead up to with the battle of Mandor. They're gonna go back to the planet, and he's gonna get Boba Fett to come back with him to. That's what it's gonna be about. It's basically, I think, the next season, the Mandalorian is gonna learn how to be like independent, maybe be a Jedi.
Do you think this
Maybe.
episode leads into the new season, and then like Boba Fett season 2 will bring back Mando, or you think Mando's gonna be, because he said, didn't he say at the end of it, he's like, I have to, before I go help you, I have to do this first, and I have to take this gift over to my son.
yeah,
And it was funny
Yeah,
how the thing how the thing was shaped as Grogu's head, the little gift thing.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
was
what
like, oh,
Kevin
that's
said too.
that's so cute, bro. I was like, oh, that's cute, bro.
Mandalorian helmet. I think it's a Mandalorian helmet with some chains on it or something. There's definitely
A
chains.
little Mandalorian outfit for
That'd be mad
freaking
cute.
Grogu. I
Yeah,
want to see
yeah.
this. I have to buy, whenever they have the toy for the Mandalorian Grogu, I have to get Grogu with the helmet. That would be badass.
It'd
Do
be
you think
amazing.
so? Do you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
would
it'd be
think-
amazing,
With
bro.
the,
It'd
with,
be-
imagine the Mandalorian helmet with the ears, Kevin. That's your job. You have to draw a Mandalorian helmet with the Grogu
with
ears.
space for his ears to come out or something, you know?
That is badass. That
But
is
that's what I think it
actually.
is.
Ooh, that is interesting. Yeah. Did you know
I'm
the
just
pod
it's
racer?
gonna be cool. It's
You
gonna
know the
yes.
pod racer, who
Go
the
ahead.
pod racer belongs to?
Who does it belong to?
Anakin.
But it was very yes, it looked familiar to me, right? I don't know if it belonged to him. I don't know where in the timeline it falls, but I was definitely like, yo, looks like that pod racer that Anakin had in the movie when Anakin was a kid. When
Well,
he was in the
this-
races, right? Or no?
Yeah, this
it's-
Mandalorian
Yep.
and Boba Fett is based right after episode 6.
Mm-hmm.
Revenge
Okay.
of the Jedi.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that part. So like Darth Vader is already he's already a grown man. Like he's already he became Darth Vader already.
So that's like in this sense, this would be like Anakin's old.
No,
Yeah,
no.
I mean,
Anakin
Basically,
Anakin is
it's
young.
earned-
Anakin is Darth
It-
Vader, right?
Yeah,
Anakin
he's
is Darth
around.
Vader. I mean, Luke is
Yeah.
like when you see him in Mandalorian, Luke is
Yeah,
is
yeah.
a young man.
Luke is
So-
a young man, yeah. So
Yeah.
what I'm
They're-
saying is, if this pod racer was Anakin's, that means the pod racer is mad old because Darth Vader is
Darth
old already,
Vader's
right?
dead, bro. No, Darth Vader's dead. Darth Vader is
Yeah,
dead.
Darth
is
Vader
dead
have that.
in
He's
this.
already.
Luke Skywalker already
yeah.
killed him, and
Yeah.
then the Mandalorian and Boba Fett and all this that's happening is in between that and then the newer movies that just came out 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, I guess what the point I was trying to get to is the pod racer.
Yeah,
is
the pod
after
racer. The pod racer is an
Anakin. It's
old
not
pod racer.
before Anakin gets it. So
Yeah.
the Mandalorian's
it's like-
getting it after
Like
Anakin's
episode 1
Yeah.
Star Wars, like when Anakin was a pod racer.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
but this episode was actually, and it was directed by and she directed
By
some other by Bryce Dallas.
Howard, yeah.
And you know
Yeah.
who she is? She's the main character from the new Jurassic World. The girl.
Mm.
The main
Yes.
actress.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did a good job. Though.
And she actually did I think she did 2 episodes for The Mandalorian.
Really?
Yeah, I think this wasn't her first, I think. This was
No.
another
So
one
that's
that she did.
interesting to see. Like she did a great episode for for the Mandalorian, and then they brought her back, but like, yo, since you did
Yeah.
great with the Mandalorian, why don't you just direct this piece of art? Because that was it.
Yeah.
Listen, I like Boba Fett.
We
I
didn't.
like
We
the
didn't even
character
get
Boba
into the
Fett.
dark saber.
Ooh, no, that's
Go ahead. Go ahead. But go ahead.
But I, I, I don't know how. And if I get hated for this, sorry, Star Wars fans, because I know you guys are toxic. Star Wars fans are toxic, bro. The thing, I like Boba Fett. I just don't like the pacing that it's going. For me, I think it's a little bit too slow on what's going on.
Mhm.
But to be fair, that is how I felt about the first season of The Mandalorian. And
But man, it only had a
for
lot
some,
of action, though.
it did have a lot of action. And for some reason, the second season of Mandalorian to me was 100 times better and had like the action that I thought I was gonna get in the first season. But
Wait,
I
wait a
feel
minute,
like
there's only
this
one
is
season.
maybe
How many seasons?
well
of
the Mandalorian. There's two.
There's 2 seasons of the
Yep.
Mandalorian.
We already went through 2 seasons.
We already went through 2 seasons. Yeah. Yeah.
Holy crap!
So the second season I just thought was so that's why I think maybe this season will mirror a little bit to like how Mando's is a little slower in the beginning. But I think it could be because
question.
like
I have
Kevin
a
said,
question
they're
for
setting
you
up a
guys,
bunch of stuff.
and for you guys that I saw it in TikTok, or I think I saw it on Instagram and Twitter. Do you think, or I heard it in a podcast, I don't remember, but do you think should Boba Fett kept his helmet on
When?
all
What do you
through it?
mean? All through this? You're saying that Boba Fett is not really a Mandalorian when you think about it. He's
No,
not a
that's true.
Mandalorian. He's a clone.
Yeah, because I think right. Like I think the Mandalorians they keep their helmet through the religion, and then Boba Fett doesn't follow that religion. He just
He
has the
doesn't.
armor, right? He
That's
just
right.
came upon that.
Yeah.
Came upon that
That's
armor.
his father. That's his
Oh,
father.
is it? Okay, word.
His father's
Yes, that's
armor.
right. Yep, that's right.
His
Yep,
father,
that's
his father is
Yep.
a Mandalorian. His dad is a Mandalorian.
Yeah.
His father.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Not- he's
that kind of makes sense. It was
he's
just
not one.
it was an interesting question for me to hear. I'm like, that is dope because, I mean, half of the show he's have his helmet off.
Yeah, yeah.
You know
And
what I'm saying?
it's
When you think about it, it's also too when with him he doesn't really follow the religion. You know, but
he
I think-
doesn't.
I think that him and Din Djarin are gonna have a lot in common. I think they're gonna be two people that are gonna be really important to the next step in these stories because that's what like I have been saying. It's gonna lead up to the liberation of their people, like you know the uniting of their people, and I think that those two characters are gonna have.
Yeah, that'd be
something with it.
interesting to see what is gonna go forward with the Mandalorian.
Yeah, especially with the dark saber. You know, the dark saber.
Bruh.
Whoever holds the dark saber is
Okay,
leading the
so
people.
he stayed. So okay, so explain to me this. She said, "Did you take off your helmet?" And he said yes. And he said, "You're no longer a Mandalorian." But he stayed with the light with the dark saber.
That's what I was
dark
wondering when he was walking away.
Yeah, the dark saber.
because it's his. It's
He won it in battle.
He hasn't lost it. It doesn't matter who has it.
But does
Yeah.
that
Think
does
about
that
it.
does
Think about
that
it.
does that it does that take him out of being a Mandalorian?
Well, think about it like this. This is the story of the blade. The blade was created by a Mandalorian millennia ago, right? Then Paz Vizsla, whatever that big man,
Vizsla or whatever.
Yeah.
Paz Vizsla's family.
It was his ancestors.
Is his he claims that it was his ancestors, but it really wasn't. They basically stole it from like the temple. I think this is what I've read, and what I've saw from Clone Wars is they took it. His family took it from the temple to lead the Mandalorians in the War of 1,000 whatever tears, I think, or there's something else.
And that's probably why the planet died then, because she even said, go ahead.
And then Darth Maul happened to have won the sword from them. He won the sword. He killed a Mandalorian, and then Darth Maul, I would suppose, lost it to Moff
Moff
Gideon.
Gideon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think or Moff
But
Gideon.
she said
Way.
that if, and that makes sense because this lady, the blacksmith, was when she was doing the history. She was like that if you use the sword and you haven't have won it in battle or you get it some other way, that it's for sure the downfall of your people. But if you're using it, you know what I mean.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that completely makes sense if the
So that's
ancestors of past Vizsla, whatever his name is, stole it, and that was the downfall of Mandalore or something.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because that's one question that I had in my mind is like, wait a minute, she just told him she's not a man, he's not a Mandalorian, but I thought the dark saber was like, you are the king of, you are the king of Mandalorians because you hold the dark saber.
yeah, you are, yeah, it there is that because it did help them in some way, in some sort of way, supposedly. But
I think it did, and it's still the fact that he
it
got
gives her curse.
banished as a Mandalorian, and
Yeah.
I think it only stays with him only because he
Well, she
won it
did
in
mention
battle.
she did mention the only way to be back to turn back into a Mandalorian is from
go
the
to some place.
cave.
Yep.
But the planet was destroyed. So you think that the next season is gonna be him trying to get back his Mandalorian culture?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be about him like uniting the Mandalorians in some way, and I think, yeah, they're gonna like have a planet, and I think most likely it's gonna be Tatooine. Tatooine is gonna
So
probably be
you
the
think that
planet.
at the end of like the Mandalorian show when he comes out, he's gonna sit in the throne and be like with the black saber like, yo, what's up, bitches? I'm the fucking king of Mandalore.
It might. I don't know. I
And
don't.
then,
I would say he's got my vote to be king because that dude is freaking tough, bro. I'm not
Yeah.
even gonna lie. Like, not
There's a lot
only
of-
is he cool and can fight well, but like just his core values and the fact that he's just out here living to just save this little dude right here. That's it. That's all I
dude,
need.
the whole first
That's all I need. That's all I
the
need.
first 10 minutes of the episode when he went, he's like, I'm looking for the guy. And he's like, is that you? And he's like, no, blah, blah, right? And he's like,
Yeah.
and then everybody's like pulling out the guns, and he's like, the fuck, you kidding me? You know what it felt like? A little bit like remember the movie The Equalizer with Denzel Washington? When he's like,
Yeah.
let me time this real quick, I'm gonna kick everybody's ass. Like it felt like that. It's like
Exactly.
let me kick all you guys' asses before I take him in. And then he sliced the guy in half.
He sliced a few guys in half.
Think
like,
about how
yo.
powerful. Think about how powerful that sword must be, man. Because it looks like it seemed like it was pretty heavy when he was trying to swing it around too.
I think it was interesting how the blacksmith was training him and the things she was saying. She's like, you can't fight against it.
And
Or
she's fighting
it's-
him with
you know
the
what I mean?
freaking hammer.
Basically-
She's not even
she's
using a
basically-
sword. She was like clink, clink, clink.
Yeah.
I think he brings up a good point where it's like I think that she was like basically saying, yeah, you can't fight against the sword, you got to fight with it, and who knows how to fight? Who knows how to fight with these light swords, these lightsabers? Fucking
Yeah, but
Jedi.
you just want the Mandalorian to become a Jedi.
He is gonna be.
And then they're gonna have to change
I
his
still
name.
think. I
They're
think
gonna
he's
have to change his name from the
become.
Mandalorian to the Jedi.
I think he's gonna tap into Jedi stuff. I don't think he's gonna necessarily train in Jedi ways. Maybe I think he's gonna tap into the Force in ways, and that's gonna allow him to control the sword better and all those
So-
things. I don't know if he'll necessarily be like I don't know. Maybe he will, but
So
don't
you
know.
gonna tell me they're gonna take Mandalorian, cut it short to man, and then Jedi, cut it short to D, and they're gonna call him the Mandy?
Mandy, no.
they could just call him Jedi, man.
Jedi man.
I honestly, my opinion, I wouldn't want him to become a Jedi because we already got that word. We got video games, we got nine movies of Jedi powers, and we never seen. We got one Han Solo movie that was, and it's still, kind of went into that. I think they should stay away from the whole. I mean, we already gonna have one, and it's gonna be, we're getting an Obi-Wan, so that's gonna be based on that. So I think that the Mandalorian should be based on what he's good at. That he's a bounty hunter, and let Grogu do the whole. Yes, it would be cool if he actually learns a couple of things, but I wouldn't want him to be like, and do the whole and
Yeah,
crush
yeah.
somebody. Like, no, let him still use his, because then he's not gonna use his. Okay, it's like
Bro,
Batman,
like all those weapons he had when he pulled
like
them out in
Batman,
that
right?
airport place.
Batman is used to use gadgets, right?
Yeah.
If you
Yep.
give him, if Batman becomes Superman, he's gonna be a flying bat.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
doesn't. He's gonna be a flying bat.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And Batman,
He wouldn't need those gadgets. You know.
none,
That's what you're
dude.
saying.
Yeah, like none, bro. His gadgets were, dude. You see when he was putting on his weapon, he was like,
Exactly. He had everything there, man. He was like,
he had
even the tiniest things.
he had a
It was
crate
crazy.
full of freaking weapons, dude.
Yeah.
But it was a
I don't
great
blame him.
episode. It was a
It was
very
good.
fabulous episode.